Hey, welcome back to Not Easy Being Geeky, the podcast where me, the host, Rachel, talks about nerdy shit. And today we're talking about Hunter x Hunter. Okay, guys, so I'm super excited to talk about today's episode because we're talking about my favorite anime and manga, which is Hunter x Hunter. And the reason we're talking about it all of a sudden now is because it is making a comeback. I was very skeptical as a Hunter x Hunter fan because at least like 3 to 4 times a year we get a psych out that Hunter x Hunter is coming back. And it's just at this point we're like, it's probably not gonna happen. Will it be cool if it does? Absolutely. But at this point it was just like, is it gonna actually happen? I doubt it. And there were like rumors that the manga was coming back, and I was very, very skeptical. I didn't think it was going to happen because, again, we've just been told so many times that there's the possibility of it coming back, and like little hints here and there, like oh, it's coming back, and then it winds up being a fake out. So when the rumors first started happening that the mangaka of, I believe it was One Punch Man, had tweeted out that the mangaka of Hunter x Hunter was working on new chapters, everyone was in shock because if I remember correctly, he has chronic back pain, and that's why he had stopped, writing the manga for so long, and his health wasn't in the greatest condition. And so he took a very long hiatus. It's been since 2018 since the manga has been, updated. And man, so I was very shocked. I did not think anything of it. I said, well, that's great. He may be working on new chapters. That doesn't necessarily mean, that we're going to be getting them anytime soon. I mean, it would probably be a few years. I was thinking it'd be a few years. That even if he was working on the chapters, he would probably be taking his time because of his health problems. So I tried not to put too much stake in it or any hope that I would be seeing it anytime soon, at least, even if he was. And then it happened. Randomly, out of nowhere, Togashi, the mangaka of Hunter x Hunter, made a Twitter account. And it was not verified or anything like that, but it was very clear that it was him. And it was this tweet that was just a little corner of a picture with a number on it. And that's what was tweeted out. And when I saw that, I freaked the absolute fuck out because I believe it was like, it said like number 10 or something on it. So I was like, oh, he is like working. He's already got like at least 10 pages done. I was like, oh man, he must have been working on this for a really long time. I was very shocked and like excited because it was like, this is finally like real. Like my favorite thing is coming back. And I, again, tried not to put too much excitement in it because I didn't want to be let down again. Every time that those rumors start up that he's starting up again and then it ends up being a fake out, it hurts because it is my favorite anime of all time. So I hope for it to get completed, but I always was still satisfied with where it stopped to where I was like, even though it's not finished, at least I'm happy that it's not like in a spot that like just completely doesn't make sense or, it was a good stopping point, So when this happened, I didn't know how to process it because I was like so excited, but also didn't want to get too excited. And there were so many people that were like, I'll believe it when I see the physical copy in itself. And then I think we were all shocked when we realized how quickly it was actually coming. Because as of today, as I am recording this, the first new chapter has been released since 2018. and I cannot wait to read it. I'm rereading the manga now because I've actually, funnily enough, it's brought me so much joy that this is coming back that it made me want to rewatch the anime, and I'm very early stages on where I'm still in the Hunter exam. And man, is it just great to experience again. I wish I could experience it like for the first time all over again, because the first time I ever watched Hunter x Hunter, I watched the remake. I never got to see the original 90s one, and I wish I could because everyone says it was phenomenal, but I never got to. And I had read some of the manga, but it was not finished, so I fell off, and I was a little bit older at the time. I was like maybe like 12 or 13 when I started reading the manga, but again, I fell off, didn't get to finish it. And even still, it wasn't finished anyway, so even if I wanted to complete it, I couldn't. So then when it got remastered and they did the remake of it, I started watching it, and again got really into it, and then life happened and I wasn't able to like continue with it. And then the Panini hit, which if you guys know, when that happened, I had all the effing time in the world, and I was like, I'm gonna binge every anime I really wanted to finish. That was a little bit on the longer side, And so I got at that point, I had only seen up to the 3rd season, I believe. So I hadn't even gotten anywhere close to the Chimera Ant arc, And I had always enjoyed it up until that moment. I thought it was very cute, very sweet, loved the characters, thought the friendship was very sweet. But when I finally got to finish it and I saw the Chimera Ant arc, that is what solidified it for me as my favorite anime. And I know you guys are probably like, have heard this so many times, and it's probably been beaten to death that is one of the best like anime arcs. But for me, seriously, it is what it made me love that anime so much. I've never cried at another anime like I cried when I saw that for the first time. And every time I watch it, it still makes me cry just as hard. The character development that happens with each character, and even in that arc, the introduction of new characters and their character development is what's so appreciated. So when I saw it and I got to finish it, it consumed my life. I had to keep rewatching it and rewatching it. I loved it so much. And I watched it probably, at this point, I've seen Rachel, slow down. I've seen Jesus Christ, help me. I've seen Hunter x Hunter well over 10 times now at this point. And you're thinking, Rachel, that's fucking insane. There's so many episodes. Yeah, I know. I know that's fucking insane, but I love it. And every time I watch it, it just gets me excited all over again. And every time I hear just that intro, it's like I get awakened. Like it's like the outer body experience, and it's instant. Like I hear that first note and I'm like, all right, I'm ready. And I just love it so much. And I know I've annoyed people so much that I love this anime so much because I'm constantly posting about it on Facebook and like my Twitter and like everything. I talk about it all the fucking time. I know it's like my entire personality. Not really, but I do love the anime so much. So much that I've gotten other people to watch it just for me talking about how much I love it. I can think of 5 people who said they started watching Hunter x Hunter just because they saw how much I loved it, and it made them watch it, and then they loved it. I, again, was not expecting it to have this comeback. I had fully hoped for a comeback, but didn't expect it. And when I found out like how close it actually was, and then I found out he has like 20 chapters done, I was mind blown. because that's like enough for like 2 volumes, which could potentially finish it. Honestly, I mean, I don't know where he was going with the rest of it, obviously, because I can't read the man's mind, but that could, I believe he's trying to finish it. Man, I know this man must care so much about his fans because he's clearly been suffering in pain, and is, I think he's just at this point he's like, I want to finish my legacy and, you know, give back to the fans because, you know, they love it so much, and even after all these years it still gets so much attention. And I mean, they're like literally Universal in Japan has made a ride now of Hunter x Hunter, or they're working on it. That, like, I started to have suspicions like a year ago, before any of this even like started, because I started to see a lot, and I don't mean like you know, sprinkled here and there. I mean a lot of Hunter x Hunter merch like making a resurgence, and I was like, any anime fan knows that once they start making a shit ton of merch again, especially for something that's a little older, something's happening, you know? So I just had a sneaky suspicion. I started seeing, you know, new Funko Pops coming out, which I bought instantly. I was like, something's going on here. Something that's like very kept under wraps. It may not be that he's finishing it, but I feel like something's happening that there's going to be a possible comeback. I didn't ever expect it to be the manga. Let me put that out there. I really did not expect that. I don't know what I was expecting, but I had a feeling like something was going to happen, like maybe a new movie or something. I don't know. But I just had this sneaky suspicion that something was going to happen because I kept seeing all this new resurgence of new merch, not even like old merch that they like, you know, were reselling, new merch. And it got me thinking. I was like, I wonder if there's something behind the scenes going on, that he's like writing up new contracts for something to be coming out. And damn, was I on the fucking nose, but I did not expect it to be, you know, Hunter x Hunter itself, the manga. I do have hopes that they will finish the anime, especially since Togashi is working so hard, clearly, to what it seems like to finish it. I'm really excited. I cannot wait to read the new chapters. You can get the new volume early. It's like the first week of November, I believe, or the second week. I can't remember off the top of my head now. The first volume will be out about a week after the first chapter releases on like Shonen Jump and a few other like manga subscription services. But I'm in the middle right now of rereading the manga, so I don't want to just skip to the new chapter because it's been a while since I've read it. And so I do want to really like re-enjoy that experience of reading. It's essentially like I'm reading it all over again for the first time because it's been so long since I've read it to its completion. And they're really like, in consideration, is not that many like volumes. So I have full confidence that I can binge it. I do remember though that like it's very jam-packed, but I love that. I love that he put so much detail in each little panel. I'm just really excited, and I really am hopeful to see what happens. Do I think they will finish the anime? I don't know, but I do have hopes for it because of Devil as a Part-Timer. I mean, that was 12 years in between the first and now second season. An anime that I think everyone totally gave up on to get, you know, finished. And now they're out of nowhere, they're making a second season. Same thing with Yuri on Ice. I mean, granted, I know that there's been a setback, people. I'm very well aware, trust me. You know, Mappa just made an announcement that, you know, they aren't giving up on it. You know, it's just some things became a hiccup, and I think it's great that they addressed it because I think fans got so scared when, you know, they took it off their upcoming projects off their website. And I think it really freaked out fans because they were like, did they just, you know, axe this thing that we've been so excited about for like 3 years now, or 2 years now, I guess, and haven't gotten any updates on. And I think they made sure to let the fans know, no, we are still working on this. We want it to be everything you hoped for. And so don't give up on us. You know, we are still coming out with a project. And I feel like that's kind of what's happened with this, is that it's just really great to see when a creator really cares about, you know, not just their work, but clearly the people that made their work popular. Because that's the thing, is you can have all the success in the world, but it doesn't amount to shit if you don't acknowledge how you got that success, you know? I've seen like some snippets where, you know, he's updated some like character outfits. So I did see the Hisoka one with like it looks like a thong chastity belt. I'm down. It looks crazy, but it makes so much sense. With all his leg out and everything, it just okay. Justin's looking it up now. I'm very excited to see where it goes. I know that this story is gonna focus on Kurapika and I'm assuming Leorio's stories, because essentially Gon and Killua have had their story. I don't think we will ever know who Gon's mother is. I really don't. You know, Gon doesn't want to know. He's already acknowledged that Mito is his real mother. She may not be his biological mother, but she's the one who raised him, and she's the one that he loves, you know? And so I don't think that we will ever find out who she is unless it's by accident. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that Gon goes searching for her. It's that they happen upon each other. You know what I mean? I know fans really want to know who the fuck she is, but I don't know if we will ever get that. I feel like it's something that's supposed to just be like, let it go kind of a thing. But I am really excited to see where the story goes and how it finishes, if he does finish it. I really do think that's where he's going with this, because if he's gotten that much done, I don't see him stopping anytime soon, you know? So I'm really excited. Dude, I followed him on Twitter so fast. I don't even speak Japanese. I don't understand it at all. But just seeing those little snippets of each like little corner and each little picture he posts, it just gives me like all the serotonin in the fucking world, man. Like, it makes me so damn happy. And Hunter x Hunter for me is just something that made me love every single character, minus Hisoka. I mean, like the main characters, you know, like each person, they really dive deep into. Did you finally find it? Justin's face.
It's like a chastity belt.
Yeah.
There's 2 keys.
Yeah.
Or there's a keyhole, and then there's a heart.
Yeah. It's yeah. Everyone on the internet went like fucking insane when that shit dropped.
I'm seeing some. I don't know if this is fan art or.
I don't either. I just kept seeing everyone talk about it. I feel like it might be official, but I don't know.
Well, from the front, they got like little frillies.
Yeah, there's like, it's like a thong. Like,
no, I'm seeing the backside view of it too.
Oh shit, that's probably fan art then.
Yeah, it's here.
Oh yeah, that's totally fan art. Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, man, y'all are nasty. No, I'm kidding. I can't even talk shit. I follow some. Oh my god, y'all are fucking insane. Justin's showing me fan art. Y'all are out of pocket. I've seen. No, I'm not even gonna talk shit. I follow so many not safe for work fan art pages. I can't even lie. I love seeing that shit. Y'all keep making that shit. I'm just not a Hisoka simp. I can't simp for him. He's a character I really hate. But I'm not much better because I just recently started to simp for Illumi thanks to this one TikTok thirst trap. And I hate you guys for making me simp for him because I didn't even look twice at that motherfucker until I saw that TikTok. And I was like, damn, was he always that hot? And it just never like clicked to me. But no, I think it's the thirst trap. But now I'm simping for him and I hate it. So I really am excited to see where this goes and how it's going to make this comeback because I love each of the characters so much. Killua is my absolute favorite. And I love Gon so much. Like both of them, they are absolutely my favorites. I know they're the main characters, but they are my babies. And I know they don't need any of my protection like whatsoever. They could kill me with like one smack, but I would do anything to protect those boys. I would throw down my whole life just for a second that they would be able to get away. Like I would do anything to protect those babies. I would break all my bones in my body to protect those little adorable babies. Those are my sons. Like I don't have any biological children, but I consider those my sons. Like, that is the equivalent I hold them to. But I love them so very, very much. And I just love how it touches on each of their relationships in a different way. And one of my favorite moments, because obviously Gon's dad, Jing, is a piece of fucking shit. My opinion, one of the worst fucking anime dads of all time. Because that motherfucker just abandons his child and does not give a single flying fuck that he's abandoned his child. But also, like, as shitty of a father as Goku is, like, at least he leaves someone with his son to, like, actually care for his, like, really, like, Piccolo is basically Gohan's dad. Let's just say it. Like, Piccolo is Gohan's real dad, okay? Because, god damn it. Anyway, I'm gonna get on a tangent. Maybe I should do an episode where it's like, he's not really my son, but he is my son. There's so many fucking animes I could do that with.
My dad abandoned me, now I'm a little piece of shit.
But none of them are. They get raised better by their not real dads. That's the shit. Anyway, and so I should do an episode about that where it's like, he's not my kid, but he's my kid. First one I could think of like 5 off the top of my head, which is like Nanami with Itadori, Piccolo and Gohan, All Might and Deku, essentially Leorio and Kite with Gon. Like, they're both father figures to him, even though Leorio is a teenager, you know? Which I feel like does anyone actually know his age? I'm assuming he's between like 18 and 19 because he's in his like early college ages, but they never really say how old he is. So I'm assuming between the ages of like 17 and 19, but everyone thinks he's a grown-ass man. So I don't know how old he is, but we know he's a teenager because he says that to them during the Hunter exam and they're all like in shock, like, what? So I don't know how old he is. I don't know if there's some like Reddit out there.
I think he lied about his age.
No, he didn't lie about his age. It's in the manga too, like that he like acknowledges that he's a teenager and that's why he wants to be a hunter, is to pay for college to become a doctor so he can save anyone without them having to pay for it. So it is true that he is a teenager, but I have no fucking clue how old he is. I don't know if he's like a baby or like, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, so just the whole dynamic between like their friendships and everything and watching each of their friendships grow with each individual, Rachel, slow down. Like obviously Killua and Gon, Killua and the others as a group, Killua, you know, Hisoka and his brother Illumi, like all of that whole dynamic, like all of it is just so well done. And again, going back to the he's not my kid, but he is my kid moment with Leorio and Gon, the moment that like I like can think of that like brings me to tears every time I see it is, spoilers if you haven't seen it, but there's this moment where Gon is on the absolute verge of death. Like he is crispy as a raisin. His entire body, there's barely any body left because he like gave his entire life to defeat the person who killed the person who had the closest relationship with his father, who he had the closest relation, like essentially the only father figure he's ever really had, and someone who meant the world to him, which is Kite. He gave everything and all of his life to age himself to the point where he would be strong enough to kill that person. And in doing so, nearly dies himself. He's in this essentially like coma-like state for a long time, and you see Killua doing everything possible to revive his friend. And that moment when Gon finally wakes up is in the middle of Leorio's candidacy as the new chairman, which I love, by the way. It just, like, that moment where Gon steps through the doors and Leorio sees him, I'm crying now thinking about it. He runs to him and, like, scoops him up in that moment. It's just so touching because you realize how much he loves Gon. And it's like, also, you know how much he loves Gon because he fucking sucker punches the shit out of Jing for not giving a single fuck about the kid. Like, and the fact that he's on the verge of death, won't even visit him. And it just shows how much, like, Leorio views, like, Gon as something important to him and someone that he loves and cherishes so much. That whole moment, just, like, I love it so much. Just, it's such a sweet, tender moment and also funny because Leorio cannot contain himself at all. And I love that moment. I love these characters so much. And again, it just, you see each character has severe and horrible trauma based off of what's happened in their life previous to ever meeting each other. And you learn these, like, early on, and it helps shape them later on. Because for Leorio, it's losing his childhood friend to an illness that could have easily been cured, but because they didn't have the money, they couldn't, cure him. For Kurapika, his entire clan has been wiped out. He is the last remaining survivor. For Gon, his father's abandoned him at a very young age. And while for him, he may not realize that trauma, it's very present to the others. Like, that's fucked up, dude. Like, and like, they're all kind of taken back when they're like, oh, that's why you're doing the hunter exam, is to find out why he left you, essentially. That's so sad. And then obviously Killua, Jesus fucking Christ, literally, like, trained to be an assassin from birth, essentially, with a super fucked up family dynamic. Let's just start there, but also in a weird way, they love each other. And that's what's so fucked up, is that in the craziest sense, like, Illumi loves his little brother in the most fucked up sense, because he's like, no one's allowed to kill this kid except me. Like, what? No one can harm this kid except me. No one can traumatize this kid except me. Like, it's crazy. And the first time you kind of see that is when, jokingly, Hisoka says, so can I kill him now? Essentially, I mean, I'm paraphrasing. And Illumi has this, like, guttural, like, reaction to his, like, neck cricks, and, like, you see, like, crows, like, everyone can sense this evil aura to the point where even, like, miles away, Killua senses it, and he's like, oh shit. And Hisoka gives him this, like, grin, like, I was just joking. But even still, it's like, he was willing to kill Hisoka in that exact moment just for saying that he thought about killing Killua, And again, the most crazy, weird, fucked up way of showing that you love your little brother, but also wanting to kill your little sister. Like, it's so weird, the whole family dynamic, but in a weird way, they love each other because they're also so proud of Killua for all the fucked up shit that he does to them. Like, they're so proud of him, but, like, it's so weird. I love it at the same time. Also, his mom's like a robot or a cyborg. I don't know. I just fucking love Hunter x Hunter, man. I could watch it over and over and over again and find something else to love about it. And, while I don't love Hisoka, I will always admit that he is a very well-written character because he is meant to make you uncomfortable. he is meant for you to not love. Like, you're supposed to have some kind of, like, uncomfortability around him, obviously. He's a very well-written character, and he's got a very good character design, too, because, I mean, he's supposed to be a magician. I know I always joke about it, that he's, like, a pedo clown, but that's because I don't like him. But obviously, he has a very good character design because his whole appearance is just uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I know there are some Hisoka simps out there. I don't get you guys. Do you? I don't care. But I don't see him as attractive. So I get an uncomfortability around him. But he's a very well-written character. I will always acknowledge that. That even though I don't like him, he is very well-written. And, you know, where Hunter x Hunter, the anime, ends, I knew it was leading into Kurapika's story. And so I hope that they finish it. I don't think that they will finish the anime, though, until he's finished with the manga. And so I know it'll be at least a few years. If I'm dead ass wrong, oh my god, I kind of hope I'm wrong, you know, but I don't expect them to ever finish the anime. I hope that's a hope for me, because obviously it was not that long ago to where they will be able to keep the animation style the same. They will most likely still be able to get the same voice actors. So, especially since they're all very much alive, you know, I'm sure even the dub voice actors. I mean, I know Matt Mercer would probably love to do Leorio again. I know he says he loves that character. So, again, I'm not a fan of the dub, but I do love Matt Mercer as Leorio. That is like the one that I'm like, and I cannot remember the guy's name that does Hisoka's voice, but he did it very well. Maybe so uncomfortable, like, but very well done. In comparison to the original, like, Japanese one. But for me, Hunter x Hunter, it's not that I hate the dub. It's just that for me, some of the emotion does not get conveyed in some of the really emotional parts as well in the dub. For me. And I feel like that goes across for a lot of dubs. It's not that I hate dubs. Is that for me, there's just sometimes they have such limitations to what they can fit, obviously, because the translation has to possibly get changed to fit it in that same window. Because they can't reanimate it, obviously, to fit those. That would be a waste of money. And so, obviously, it's not always going to be the best, you know, rendition based off of the limitations that they have. But I will always fight for good dubs. Like, I will 100% like acknowledge when there are great moments in dubs. Like, the most recent Demon Slayer season, you guys know the fight I'm talking about with Tengen. That moment where they're all screaming, holy shit, that was actually really good in the dub. Because I saw the comparison of both and I was very impressed. Also, I always think of, I know you guys know I fucking love J. Michael Tatum. He is my favorite English dub voice actor. I fucking love him. And he always plays my favorite characters because you guys know I love me a good dark-haired character with glasses that has a very cynical voice. But he does it so fucking good. I love him so much. Anyway, I love him very much. And so, he played a character that he normally wouldn't play, which is a blonde character. And he did, in Attack on Titan, that scene where, like, brain, what's his name? Oh my god. Commander Erwin. He does Commander Erwin Smith, and that, you guys already know what the fuck scene I'm gonna be talking about, but the scene where he gives that speech where he is letting them know you are all gonna fucking die. That scene still hits hard as fuck in the dub, okay? He says, "My soldiers rage!" And like, he puts everything in that shit. And that is one of the best dubs, like, moments I've ever fucking seen. I get so fucking hype every time I hear that damn speech, okay? They're all going to their deaths. And he's like, go for it anyway, bitches. Like, just go. Like rage, bitch. My soldiers rage. Like, what the fuck? My soldiers do not yield. Like, that shit is fire as fuck. And I will always, always, always support and fight for that fucking dub moment. Like, no, there are good dubs and there are good voice actors. It's that they have very serious limitations sometimes what they can fit. And I understand that. But for me, again, like Hunter x Hunter, it's not that it's a bad dub. It's that I think they had limitations with some of the things that they could say and fit in those moments. And so for me, it just doesn't hit the same. And while I love, you know, I watch both. I don't give a single fuck. Doesn't bother me which one you watch. I will never understand that shit. By the way, people, like when people are like, dub doesn't have accurate translation. I make you guys sound like Cartman because that's what you fucking sound like. Okay, you're a little whiny bitch when you start complaining about stupid shit like that and picking apart shit. And you know why? Because when you read the fucking mangas, guess what? You're reading a dub version of it. They have to translate it. So you're never, ever, ever gonna get the exact translation. So suck it the fuck up, okay? You're still watching the same anime. You still get the same story. So shut the fuck up. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some old school animes, like obviously I will always say it, like Sailor Moon, where they change shit, but that really doesn't happen anymore. Like I haven't seen that where they like completely change shit to whatever, to fuck up the story. They work with what they can do and they try to keep the story as close as possible now. So for any new school shit, shut the fuck up. Let people watch it how they want to fucking watch it. Some people just don't like to read, okay? Suck it the fuck up. Or some people have like horrible ADHD like my husband, where he just like, sometimes he falls asleep because he's reading. So sometimes we watch both. I don't give a single fuck. Or when I'm fucking cleaning or cooking and I just want to know what the fuck's going on and I want it in the background, guess what? I can't fucking understand Japanese. So I have to watch it in the fucking dub.
Chances are that they don't either.
Exactly. All right, rant over. I'm sorry, I had to say it.
But also, with that being said, we do recognize that some dubs just flat out suck.
Yes.
Some voice actors should not be doing certain characters at all.
Yeah, I agree. Like, while I do enjoy Bryce Papenbrook.
Calling somebody out straight?
Yeah. I do enjoy Bryce Papenbrook, but there are some times where I'm like, I feel like his voice does not fit a character. And it's just like, why would you do that? And it's not an attack on him. It's just, to me, he doesn't fit the character. So it's nothing to do with him. I promise. I think he's a phenomenal voice actor, but I feel like it's like kind of a running joke now. But I've seen it on TikTok where it's like everyone can just recognize his voice instantly, kind of a thing. I mean, he's done Meliodas, Aaron. He's in Beastars. I mean, he's in so much shit. It's almost guaranteed that he also does Inosuke's voice, which for me is one that was not the greatest fit. I know some people love him as Inosuke, but to me, I just prefer the sub voice actor. It's nothing against Bryce Papenbrook. I promise. I don't have any hate towards him. I don't. But again, there are just some moments where, for me, it does not, like, the emotion just does not get conveyed the same. Like, when the first time I watched Skate the Infinity, I watched it in the sub and all the emotions hit the same. Then the second time I watched the dub with Justin, and that moment where Reki screams out Talanga, that did not hit the same. And when I showed it to Justin in the sub, he was like, oh shit, you're right. Cause it's like such a passionate moment. It just, to me, it did not hit the same. And so, yeah, again, like, there's nothing towards any shit on these dub voice actors. I know they have limitations. I know they do. And they're doing the best with what they can. So, again, I will never shit on a dub ever because I know that they have limitations. And people can watch it however the fuck they want to enjoy it. Whatever is easiest for them. What got me on this tangent again? I can't even remember. Like,
the passion of some of the characters.
You're right. Thank you. So, I mean, they would still be able to get some of the original voice actors. I really do feel like that's a possibility. I hope that if they do finish the manga, that they will finish the anime. I hope so, because they would not have to update much, obviously. Like, the art style's still, pretty recent, and again, the voice actors, I feel like, unless the voice actor just didn't want to come back for whatever reason, which I doubt. I mean, it's such a successful anime. I don't know why they wouldn't unless, just they weren't getting paid well or something. I know that's been a very huge controversy recently that there are some voice actors that are just not getting paid well. Um Also, I found out with the whole Bayonetta chick, apparently she lied. She got fucked, apparently. She said she got fucked by her contract for Bayonetta 3, which is like a huge anyway, and then it turns out she was fucking lying, so that'll be a whole different conversation, guys.
Talking about voice actors getting paid underwhelmingly and all that other kind of stuff. But something that's going on with the animation world too is just, I mean, they are very quite overwhelmed with the amount of work that they're having to do. There's not enough animators to produce nearly the amount of uprising that Western culture has brought to anime,
Mhm.
especially over recent years and everything.
Yeah.
I think it's a no-brainer that they're definitely going to do the anime, especially with the amount of popularity that it's gained over the past couple years alone. But also, it's they've been doing if whether it's been him, I don't think it's just him. I think it's a whole
No.
promotional team that has been putting a lot into his marketing ploy of like especially that first tweet out, and then all of a sudden it became an internet sensation. Fantastic marketing, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, I think I again, I don't think it was I think there was a lot of a thought put into this. I don't think it was something that was just kinda decided upon. I really do have a feeling he had been probably thinking about this for a very long time and working on it behind the scenes for quite some time for him to just be able to release a volume so quickly, and to still have chapters ready to go. I really do think he's been working on this for quite some time and that it's been something that's been in the works for a while and clearly has had a lot of thought and care put behind it. With that being said, there is a hope for it to get animated. And like you said, you know, animators are kind of getting fucked because there's such this boom. And I really do feel like, you know, COVID had a lot to do with that because, people were more at home. They were looking for new things to watch. And anime made a huge boom during that time because people had time to binge these series. And there is such a demand for it now, but all these animators, there's budget cuts, there's less people now with a lot more work to do, and it's very sad. Um so I really hope that with all of that, all the negatives going on, that there are positive outcomes to this, that there is something good that comes from all that bad. I really hope that something better can happen.
I have a thought, not a prediction. Maybe it's a prediction. I don't know. I think that the manga is a lot further along than what they've teased out.
Oh, I believe so.
I think it's a lot further along, like to where anime, it's still out there. Don't get me wrong, but I'm thinking I wouldn't be surprised if the anime came back in less than 2 years from now.
I could see that. I mean, again, I think there is a hope for the anime to be completed. I don't see that anytime soon though. But I do think, like I said, that he has a lot more completed than he said he has completed.
Yeah, they're gonna like George R. R. Martin it and like do like finish it up while the animation is going on and just passing off notes. That's why I think he's further along in the manga than what we might think that he is, because I feel like earlier things have been passed on to animators at that point. That's just
I
a
don't
conspiracy theory on my end, though.
I don't see the thing is I think this is why I don't think any of it is being animated yet because it's not completed. They've been burned that way before that he didn't finish the manga and then they were kind of left without anything to animate. And I'm not saying that's his fault, obviously. Like, that's just what I think. Like, if I was an investor, that's how I would think. I want to see it completed before we animate this. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't think any of it's animated yet. That's why I think they're not going to even animate it until it's completed. So I don't know. That's just my thought, or at least until he has a good majority of it completed to where as they're animating the newer volumes, he has time to finish it in those years. They're not going to start animating with this one volume. He's going to have at least 3 volumes done because that'll be at least for a good, you know, it's one volume that could go for at least one season. So 1 to 2 even. So it depends on the manga, like how much they put in a volume, like how many pages, whatever. But in reality, that could be, let's say, like 7 chapters make 1 episode, and there's 20. Let's say, no, actually, scratch that. 5 chapters, let's say, make 1 episode. Okay. Let's say there's 20 pages in a volume, or 20 chapters in a volume. Brain, keep up. 20 chapters in a volume. So 5, 10, 15, 20. That's 4 episodes for just 1 volume. So that wouldn't even be a complete season. So you see what I'm saying? So he would have to have at least 3 volumes done, in my opinion, to have. I don't know. It just depends on the manga. So you never really know, because they could animate like 1 page in an anime and it be stretched out because it's animated now. I mean, like, perfect example, Chainsaw Man. Those first 3 episodes we've seen right now, those are within like just the first few pages. So it's very likely that it would, I mean, in my opinion, I think you should have at least 3 volumes done before they start animating. That's how I would see it if I was an investor, because then they have enough to animate, to have at least a good couple seasons while he's finishing it. So that's just how I would see it. That's why I don't think they're animated anything yet. It's not complete. You know, they don't have enough to animate. They're not going to start working on a project if it's unfinished. So that's why I don't think there's any hopes to finish it until the actual manga is finished. So, and if they do, I hope they don't do like an Inuyasha final act kind of a thing where it comes out like 7 years later and it's just 1 season. It's all kind of condensed. I really hope they take their time with it, you know, because Inuyasha, while I did enjoy that final season, it really was kind of like a throwing a bone to the fans. Like, we finished it. Here's a 7-year-long hiatus of the final season, and that never happened. And here's your finished thing. By the way, here's a spin-off series right after that. That could have all just been, honestly, in my opinion, the final act could have just been the first season of Yashahime, which is the sequel, and then gone into that with a time skip. That's my opinion. But because, I mean, it was like 12 episodes. I can't even remember how long it was, but it was kind of rushed, in my opinion. While I still love Inuyasha, I feel like the final season was a little bit rushed and a little cheesy, in my opinion. So anyway, but hey, I waited 7 years for it, so I really can't talk shit. With all that being said, I am very excited that my favorite anime and manga is back. I'm hoping that it does get completed, but I also don't want him. I'm also concerned because I don't want him to push himself, because I do know that he has, you know, those health issues. I mean, I feel like, I mean, there was all those rumors like years ago that it was like something on the verge of death kind of a thing. But I mean, that was just inaccurate. Like, people spun it into something way worse. He's not on the verge of death, guys. But he does have, like, I believe it's a chronic back pain, to where it makes it hard for him to draw. And that's, I think, what really has halted his, you know, creative, you know, freedom with it, is that he was in pain, you know. So I'm really hoping he's not pushing himself just for the sake of finishing it. Because, I mean, while I am such a huge fan, I don't want it to be the expense of someone, you know, essentially slowly killing themselves to complete it. So I do hope he's okay and that everything's all good. But, you know, I really do love Hunter x Hunter. It is a thing that really has a special place in my heart. And I love the little Easter eggs. For those of you that don't know, the creator of Hunter x Hunter, his wife is the creator of Sailor Moon. And they both have done little, like, nods to each other's, like, you know, works. And it's a very cute moment, actually, in Hunter x Hunter in the last season. You see little baby reincarnated Kite playing with a Sailor Moon doll. It's just cute little things like that really show attention to detail and care. And it's like, you didn't have to put that in Hunter x Hunter, you know? But it's a cute little nod to his wife. And it's really cool to see such like powerhouses in the anime world being married to each other. That's dope as fuck. But anyway, I just hope he's taking care of himself and he's not just doing this at the expense of himself. You know, I hope he's not pushing himself. Well, and while again I said I'm very excited, I don't want it to be at the expense of someone. So, with all that being said, I'm very excited to see where the story goes. Hopefully it gets completed. I'm very hopeful of that. I really do think he's working diligently to complete it this time. And I'm just really excited to be a Hunter x Hunter fan right now. There's so much cool stuff coming out. And again, I kind of feel like this gave a little hope to a lot of anime fans, you know, that even if their favorite thing has been gone for a little while, there is, you know, a possibility that it comes back. And, you know, with all that, it's not easy being geeky. And as always, guys, hope you check out all of our socials. Follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And you can catch all that on our website, noteasybeing.com. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. We do have our episodes out on YouTube now, so it would mean a great deal to us for those of you guys that are on YouTube to check it out. Love you guys. Are you excited for the new comeback just like I am? Because I'm screaming on the inside and on the outside. So thanks again, guys, for listening.